Hello everyone, today I'm bringing you my very last design team projects for Tresors Deluxe, and this is my third one for the month of September and my final design team project also. As you all know, the term was for 3 months, and it's been a wonderful 3 months to design. Thank you to Luxe for giving me the opportunity to design for Tresors Deluxe, and also thank you to Christy, who's the coordinator over there, who's done a wonderful job keeping us all organized. And it's been also wonderful to be working alongside some of the lovely ladies there also. And these projects that I made have been inspired by this little bag here. And I was cleaning out some doilies last week, or just over a week ago, and amongst the doilies was this little bag, and I must have got it from eBay. You know how sometimes you get a bundle of doilies, quite some time ago, and this little bag was amongst them. So I gave it a wash, and I thought, it's really pretty, isn't it? Just a little pouch bag. And so I thought, oh, you know, it reminds me of the old-fashioned bags. So I did a little bit of Googling and Pinteresting and had a look at some of the old vintage style pouch bags that the ladies used to use in the 17 and 1800s, and took my inspiration from there. So the first bags I've made, I've actually used the beautiful appliques from Tresors Deluxe. As you can see, this is it's probably meant to go on the front of a wedding dress or something like that. It's absolutely gorgeous. And so I've shaped the bag to the shape of the applique. As you can see there on the back, I've made the bag to match the shape of the absolutely gorgeous applique piece. And this applique comes with all this gorgeous beading, and what a beautiful way to show it off. You know, you get the full beauty of the actual piece and nothing much else is needed. I've actually made the bags themselves out of some beautiful lace that was sent to me by Mary McInerney. Thank you, Mary. It's beautiful lace. And this top ruffle here is from lace that Fiona sent me as well. Thank you, Fiona. I've just put a drawstring, and I've used some cotton is it twill tape, mainly because it's very strong and you can give it a good, you know, pull in, whereas some ribbons aren't quite that strong. In fact, it's so strong. All the inside of the bag, they're all fully lined with some lovely satin fabric from an old wedding dress, and they were actually a lot more simple to make than what you might think. It's just 2 pieces of fabric cut to the shape of the wedding applique, and they're sewn together. You might be able to see that seam underneath, sewn together down the back, and then sewn together at the bottom, and then the exact same thing doing for the lining inside. Probably a little bit hard to explain. I would have to do it in front of you. They're not hard to make, especially if you enjoy sewing. I don't think you can do this gluing. Well, you probably could, but it just would not be as strong as a sewn bag. But anyway, there's my first one, using the beautiful applique with the lovely beaded trim. The second one is very similar, and I've used another applique on this one. As you can see, there's nothing in the bags at the moment, but they do hold quite a lot. And there's that beautiful applique there. And this one didn't have any beaded trim down the bottom. So what I've done is I've just stitched the Tresors beaded trim in between the layers, so it actually looks like it has its own beaded trim, and I think it's just beautiful. And these, I'm going to be using these to send with gifts in them for somebody. So, you know, it's nice like an upscale paper bag. Instead of a paper bag, you're making a lovely little fabric bag that they can reuse for other things. So there's the 2 wedding applique ones. And the third one I made, I was inspired by a Russian bag from the 1700s, and it just sort of, the shape of it I thought was really nice. And this is what I've made here. There we go. And I've used this gorgeous trim from Tresors Deluxe, this one here. And just to widen it at the bottom, I've sort of cut some of the pieces off the lace itself and made it a little bit wider in areas. Just to give it that nice shape, because it, you know, starts narrow, goes wide, and then comes to a point at the bottom. I've just put another little bit more of that beaded trim into the join of the bag, and the bag is actually 4-sided, as you can see. That's the back of it. Once again, just widening it down the bottom a little bit. There's our beaded trim. It's got a little handle. Now, the bag I saw on the site didn't have a handle of any kind, so I just put one on. You know, it was more the shape that I took from the vintage bag. And I've used the beautiful fabric that Louisa sent me. Thank you, Louisa, for that. It's that beautiful, it's almost like a lame, but it's not a lame. It's really beautiful fabric. It's got a very pretty sheen to it, and it's a lovely coffee colour. And this gorgeous trim from Tresors Deluxe. Now, all the trims are sewn on. They're a little bit loose in the middle part because you know, it's nice to have a bit of movement with things, but it is all sewn on, as with the applique bags as well. I've put my own little jewel piece for the button on the front of this, and a little bit of elastic underneath to hold it closed, and I've just made a little flap over the top there like that, so it would close, and I think it's turned out quite pretty. Now, I'm not a seamstress. I'm very rusty with my sewing practices, but that's the sides, and they just sort of fold in like that. And I thought it was a lovely way to display this lace. And when it's opened up, I mean, it's quite a big bag, and it will just sit there like that. You know, it's a good size little, almost like a bucket bag, isn't it? So it's quite generous, and it's a nice little almost evening purse, but once again, a nice way to give somebody a gift. So I'm really pleased with how they turned out, and I hope you like my little bags that I've made using the beautiful laces and trims from Tresors Deluxe. And I'll put a link down below to the store and to the website and to the Facebook page, where they're always showing off the beautiful things that people make with their products. So thank you so much for joining me, and thank you also for joining me over the last 3 months with my designs, and I hope you like what I've made with the laces and trims. I've thoroughly enjoyed it, and thank you for joining me. Have a wonderful weekend, everybody. Bye bye.